Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you a workout. Remember, drawing, and the word draw in English actually refers to a physical act of pulling something, or that idea of movement, to draw something across something else, or to draw something towards us, or even words or phrases like drawing conclusions, right? To draw is to move and to pull. And so we want to build up muscle memory to help us pull different types of lines. And this is a workout designed to help with that, to help us get some muscle memory. This is like playing scales on the piano or dribbling drills in basketball. We want to just build muscle memory and get our body used to making lines. Now, everybody's just a little bit different, and so I want you to play around with this and get comfortable. Couple things. First of all, never draw like on a single sheet of paper on a hard surface. It really makes it hard to get good line quality. You want a little bit of a cushion. So you see I've got a little stack of paper here, and we want to use that stack because that's going to help us. Okay, so we're going to start. We want to just practice doing some straight lines. Pulling straight across your body so right now I'm perpendicular to this page. To try to draw a straight line this way is really awkward. And so I want to move my paper to an angle that feels comfortable for me so that I can pull a line straight across the page. And for me, it's about here. You should play around with it and kind of figure out what works for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with some longer lines. Okay? And basically what I'm doing is playing connect the dot. Okay? So I've got a dot here and a dot here. And I'm just going to try very carefully. I want this line to be as straight as I possibly can. I want to go straight from this line to this line. And you can see it's not the easiest thing in the world. Okay? And I want to repeat this movement. And so I'm going to try to draw straight across. It's helpful to use things as a guide. So I know, for example, that the top of my page is a straight line, and I can use that to help me see, is my line moving away or towards that as I'm going? I just want to try to keep it as even and the same as I possibly can. This isn't a speed exercise. I want to really focus and control my movement. I'm trying to really build the neural pathways that'll help me repeat something over and over. You want it to get to the point where you don't have to think about it, that your body just knows how to draw that straight line. So I'm just focusing. Sometimes I'll make little tick marks to try to keep track of how many lines I've drawn. I wasn't paying attention, so I'm not exactly sure how many I've done. You can see I just had an involuntary whoop right there. So I got to keep working on that. So I am kind of resting a little bit on my finger here underneath. I don't think you can see that in the video, but I'm not like free floating above. I have a little bit of a kind of a skate I'm using. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna do each of these 8 times. So we're gonna pretend that's 8, I didn't count. And you're gonna do that again. So you're gonna start here, and pull another straight line. Another straight line. Periodically, if you want to check, you can get out a ruler and see if you have like a consistent issue where you're arching up or arching down. I think on average, looks like I'm arching just a little bit up. If you want to watch that. Just practice. And again, I'm not keeping track, so I should get in the habit of putting some tick marks here. But we're going to do that 8 times, and you're going to do that. I'll kind of show you, so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. So I would repeat this one 8 times, this one 8 times, and then this one 8 times. And then we're going to mix it up a little bit. Instead of going all the way across, let's try to do like a half page. Okay, and let's pull some smaller lines. And again, try to do 8. Repeat each one 8 times. And each time, you can see I got a really big jog on that one. Slow down, focus. And try to feel where the issues are coming from. I just noticed my palm kind of caught, and that twisted my hand a little bit and really screwed up my line there. And so I want to think about that and think, how can I not run into that extra drag? So I'm riding back up on that pinky so I can get a smoother movement, okay? But each of these we're going to do 8 times and try to get them as straight as we possibly can, okay? After you've done some long ones 8 times and some medium ones some 8 times, we'll do some even shorter ones. We'll do about a 1/4 page here. And just again, this isn't speed. We're going for control. We're trying to get a nice controlled straight line. Just want to go straight across. Okay, and we'll do 4 of these. Okay, all right. So next, after you've done each of these lines and then gone over it 8 times, we'll mix it up again. We're gonna go back to a nice long line. This time, we wanna try to maybe add an arc to it. Okay, so we're gonna do a curved line. So come up here and come into this space. You can see I'm even like ghosting the line to get a feel for where I want it. I don't want it to be a huge curve, but I want a nice arc. And get my hand to where I'm doing an arc. You see I missed my mark there, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep trying. And then again, try to match that first line. Just try to get a smooth motion. And we're gonna follow this same pattern just so it's easy to remember. So we're gonna do 4 full page arcs, 8 times. I'm really missing that one. See if I can hit that one. Okay. We want to try to keep these as evenly spaced as we can. You can see I'm got a little bit of a gap and a little bit of a gap. It's not too big of a deal, but over time we want to get better at this. Be consistent. And so we're going to do four arcs, 8 times each. And then we're going to do some half page arcs. Wow, yeah, I totally bombed that. We'll keep trying. what's happening is my hand is actually getting in the way as I draw, and I can't see my mark. I don't know if that's an issue or not. I'll have to think about that. Okay, but 8 times. Eight times. Eight times. And then 8 times. Over time, what you should start to see is that you're getting a little bit more consistent. I'm not very well warmed up, and I'm not very consistent right now, but that's okay. That's why these are workouts. Okay, and then we'll do some quarter page arcs. So just try to match. It's definitely easier to stay more consistent on the smaller arcs, but I still want you drawing. This is with your full arm, your shoulder. This isn't with your fingers. I don't want to see anything like, so here's the bad example. This is what we're trying to get away from. None of this scratchy stuff. Okay, that's bad. Frowny face. Okay, this is about practicing pulling lines in one smooth arc. Get better, more beautiful, more expressive lines, have more control if you're using your whole arm. Okay, and just be bold, be confident. Even if you don't feel confident, just fake it. Get some good confident lines in here. Skill comes with a lot of practice and a lot of time. Okay, and this is just a workout. Okay, so there's your first page. Some straight line practice, some curved line practice, and then we're gonna do one more as a part of this workout. Same format, but what we're gonna do, and this one's kind of to practice where you've already kind of gone over. And so what we're gonna do, instead of creating one curve, we're gonna do multiple curves within the same line. I'm kind of loosening up here. But we're just kind of gonna go up and down and do some waves, okay? And once I've established that, I wanna stick with that, okay? So we're gonna just try to follow, wow. That line, you can see I'm struggling a little bit. I'm just gonna slow down, focus. Again, it's not about speed. It's about drawing with your whole arm, trying to get one confident flow. Okay, and so you're gonna do again 4 rows of 8 of full page. Like that. Okay, and then we'll do half page. Same idea. That. Like that. And then quarter page. With the only difference that you're going to be repeating each of these lines 8 times. So you get a lot of mileage out of this, and there's not a lot of having to worry about other things. This gives you a chance just to create line. All right, and so this is a simple workout. We're gonna do several variations of it, but for now, I just want you focusing on the line movement. Over time, we'll be talking about things like line quality, A pen like this doesn't give you a whole lot of options for varying your line quality. It's pretty consistent. You can get a little bit. You can control it with some speed and different things, where you can get thinner or thicker lines, but it's black ink, so you can't really vary the value. But as we get into line quality and other lessons, a great twist on this exercise is to try to create lines with not only the movement or the direction focus, but with pressure or with line quality. So can you hold your pencil a little different? So maybe we want a thick line instead of a thin line. And so I'm going to turn the pencil on its edge and try to pull my lines like that. And here's another tool in my tool belt. Maybe I want to try a medium line. Practice that. Maybe you want to practice being more light-handed instead of heavy-handed, and maybe you want to do a whole bunch of thin and light lines, right? And so you can use these ideas, but then practice something a little bit different, so that when you do sit down to draw, you don't really have to think about, oh, what does my hand need to do in order to make this line dark? You know, you can respond, and your hand already knows, okay, if I want this to be a softer line, that's a lighter line, and a thicker line, I know how to make that. Or if I really want to punch like a corner of an edge or something and get something sharp, and then I want to go into something softer, I can get a variety of lines, and my hand's going to be much more familiar with what it needs to do, depending on the tool. So trying this exercise with different tools, with different hand positions. This is a pretty common one. Holding the pencil like this. This is kind of the traditional. I know artists that hold it like this because this gives them some control this way and this way. So you might want to play around with that a little bit with this workout.